Today we're going to play Denmark, which surprisingly has a really good focus tree. And if you don't believe me, just watch. Iron Man, historical, and go. And why do I say this, that Denmark is so strong? Denmark is famous for capitulating to Germany in a matter of hours, because the monarchist focus tree is very strong. But you need to know what to do. And for the beginning, focus tree wise, reaffirm neutrality. Let's go. Research wise, I'm going to get into engineering and industry. Construction wise, I'm going to build mills over here. And production wise, I can tell you we will need those mills because we at the moment have 2 military factories producing equipment. That's not good. I will also add the MIO because that's a thing we can do now, and it gives me more production efficiency, which is not a lot of modifiers because it's not leveled up yet, but 3% efficiency, I take it. And now we wait. And while we wait, I look at the modifiers: neglected military, economic crisis, Danish industrial capabilities. Man, that's some Kaiserreich modifiers. That's gonna be fun to fix. But economic crisis, funnily enough, helps us because it gives us unaligned support and decreases democratic support. So I don't want to fix that too fast. For now, reaffirm neutrality is done. And what I'm basically going to do now is get all of these focuses done up to the focus where we need 40% unaligned support and get the advisor that gives us unaligned support. He's also very good for other reasons, as you see. And because it's quite important to talk about, we as Denmark have balance of power with welfare and warfare. So we can either go heavily into civilian industry or war economy and production. That's kind of the modifiers. You see at the highest here, we have high production for military equipment, but trade laws, economic laws, civilian industry takes way longer to build. On the other side, you have pretty much the opposite. We research faster and we build faster civilian industry, but our military capabilities become very crippled. Anyways, enough political power for a new minister. I'm gonna get the finance minister. At least I think that's what it says. So the political stuff for now is done. Let's build some industry and get the research slot down here. And for that, I'm gonna choose to fortify our border because that goes more into the warfare path of balance of power. And we're gonna need that. And over here, we're also gonna get democratic support. And we have enough political power for the last advisor. I want to get the rearmament proponent. Why? Because it gives more recruitable population, war support, and he makes a conscription law cheaper to change. The best thing about this is we can go to partial mobilization now thanks to him because we have enough war support. So right now, I want to rush down the research slot, but before I can do that, I have to devalue the crown because currently we have a weekly stability decrease, and I want to get rid of that like right now. So I'm going to do the painful devaluation of the crown, which loses me a bit of stability temporarily, but overall doesn't decrease my stability weekly anymore, because this does hurt. Devaluation of the crown is done. Let's get the research slot. And very important, partial mobilization. Makes building those military factories way cheaper and most importantly, faster. At the same time, I'm gonna list up all the things I need so my military factories will trickle into that. We are a small nation at the beginning and building up an industry will take a while, but without this equipment, this is gonna be way more painful. Just to show you real quick, this focus is over here. Give us a little bit of fortification, building slot, a military factory, and a very cool local modifier for military construction. So yeah, these are pretty cool. And you have these effects kind of hidden behind most focuses here. At least some kind of effect. Either you repair your industry or you get like a localized bonus. And I have to say I like that. We don't just get an industry, we also get like something else. And I feel like a lot of these focuses have this now, which once again, let me say, it's a pretty good DLC. Not gonna lie. I like the things I put into the focus tree. And now beginning of 1937, let's get the research slot. Also giving us nuclear research and needle spore. And because I want to change a lot in my army, I'm gonna get myself the defense expert because I really need army experience. And, you know, defense is like attack, just backwards, so good enough. So, new research slot is here. Give me a truck. Focus rise. I want to get the focus expanded mandatory military service. At least that's what I think this says. This is gonna take us 235-day focuses. Very cool. And we get volunteer only, which allows me to upgrade to limited conscription cheaper. Because I could do it right now, but this way I kind of save political power. And talking about conscriptions, last time with Finland, I choose extensive conscription and I didn't think about it, but I wasn't supposed to do that. The conditions even said, no, you're not able to. And I was still able to. Basically, some Nordic nations get it through the monarchy that they can choose extensive conscription because of the king, like us in Denmark now, but Finland doesn't get that. So once again, I'm sorry about the confusion. I wasn't supposed to be able to click it, but you know, it was an early version. Things like that happen. Focus is done. done. Let's get the king in power. Minus 20% stability. At the same time, I'm still gonna wait a little bit before increase the conscription law because our king has a modifier to make that cheaper. And our current leader actually makes it more expensive. So let's wait a little bit. The king assumes power, giving us a lot of political power, stability, and non-aligned support. At the same time, the non-aligned will be called the monarchists, and we get our Giga Chat of a king, which gives us a whole bunch of modifiers and allows us to get extensive conscription, and that even cheaper. The king has assumed power, and look at him. And at the same time, I will get myself extensive conscription for basically very cheap. This should give me a lot of manpower to work with. And you might ask yourself now, what will be our first target of our military? Who knows? I guess it will stay a mystery. But for now, I'm gonna get these focuses here for even more recruitable population and also more warfare support. Why? Because I want to get Scandinavian security as soon as possible. And for that, we need war support, manpower in the field, and 30% warfare. If we need to, we can always invest political power, but we're not missing a lot. So I probably only have to do it once or twice. So let me click this once and wait for this focus to be done. And then we should actually be ready to do Scandinavian security. In the background, I also started to build more military, but we're still missing a lot of equipment. So this will take a little bit. But our military industry is growing. We have actually 4 times the military industry we had at the start. So we're starting to produce. The only big thing we're missing now is guns, but that was kind of obvious. And the focus was enough. So let's do Scandinavian security. With Scandinavian security done, I will integrate Iceland now because yeah, we can do that very early on. And just to be sure, if they even think about saying no, I will just keep a few troops around the corner. Who knows? Who knows? They never said no to me though. And for the question of neutrality, of course, I will create my own faction. Neutrality? Cringe. Reintegrate Iceland is done, and they say yes. Beautiful. As I said, they never said no, but you know, I don't want to risk anything. And with that out of the way, yes, we can call him over here, but that can wait. I want to go to Sweden Nordic and offer protection. Why that? Because offer protection basically can give you 3 puppets. And there's 1 puppet I want to have very early on. With Sweden Nordics done, we now get the option to sway the public opinion of Swedes and Norwegians, which gives them non-aligned support. But I gotta say, this takes so long that you will never get them to flip into your ideology because you can diplomatically annex them if they are your ideology. But as I said, you will never get this done in time. So for Sweden and Norway, we have to conquer them. For Finland, on the other hand, which starts with our ideology, we don't have to sway them. So you might guess who will be our first target. On this side, I'm actually gonna look into guns because I'm still missing a lot and I would like to buy a few. I have a few Turkish guns here. So for my Danish army, I will get myself Turkish guns. Let's go. Turkey strong. And yes, as always, grand battle plan. I love it. Fight me. Offer protection is done. I will go into secure Swedish steel now, which gives me a war goal and an attack bonus against them. And while this is going on, I will offer Finland Danish protection, which makes them a puppet. The only conditions you need to fulfill is them being your ideology and them having a high opinion. I improved their opinion while we did this focus, so now I can just ask them, join me. Will they say yes? They do. They just say yes. I've only seen them say no 1 time. And then you can just alt F4 and try again. Because this is not a focus. This is a decision that will be answered within 3 days. So you can even do this in Iron Man with a 100% guarantee if you cheese a little bit. But overall, I would say they have a 90% chance to say yes. 90%. And we have Finland for free now. And don't forget, we can do the same with the Baltic states over here. So I'm gonna improve their opinion now too. You might guess now why I kept political power around, because we're not gaining a lot of political power anymore at the moment. All of the Baltic states have very high relations with me. So first I asked Estonia, do you want to join? And they say yes. Next, Lithuania, do you want to join? And they say yes. Latvia, do you want to join? And they said yes. They all said yes. What? Okay, I gotta be honest. I would have probably alt F4 to show that you can alt F4 and still get it. But this time, I actually got all of the puppets without anyone saying no. Most of the time, one of the Baltic states says no, but this time all of them just agreed. Okay, I'll take it. Sure, why not? 1938, I already have 4 puppets, one of them being Finland. You might start to see what I mean with the Danish Focustree. It's actually quite good. Anyways, secure Swedish steel is done. I will get secure our eastern front, which unlocks integrate Danish Finland, which sounds very cursed. And that allows us for, I think, 100 political power. I'm not 100% sure, to integrate all of Finland in about 80 days. And I want to do that before the Soviet Union attacks them. Otherwise, we have a very early Soviet war. And I would like to avoid that. But with all of that out of the way, drop the troops that we do have. I want to have a little bit of a backup army here in case the Swedish do naval invasions. They've done it like 1 time in my test runs, but better be safe than sorry, right? And without any further ado, let's attack Sweden. For some reason, they have very light protection on this border. So you don't even need to do a naval invasion. Just attacking with a normal global attack order is enough. Yeah, this war will not be too hard. Just a lot of encircling and that's it. Because even though the Swedish are very strong, they have a very weak army at the beginning. And I'm absolutely gonna abuse that. And yes, be aggressive. And while they attack me, I'm just gonna, you know, walk around them, encircle them. You know how it is. Bye-bye, Swedish army. They're literally just letting themselves be encircled. This is stupid. I love it. This one army tried to unencircle them, but just allowed me to encircle him too. Beautiful. And because I'm pretty sure they don't have really anything left, I'm just gonna walk to Stockholm now, because I can. And yeah, there was no one in Stockholm. Epic battle over here in Sweden, gotta say. Very hard. Let me just once again cut them all off and see how they react. Mostly they don't. Yeah, so far I lost 5k, and the Swedish lost 52k. So yeah, and I don't really think they have much more left than these two armies that I'm currently encircling. So the only real thing in the north is supply. That's kind of really annoying, but you know, when they have no army left, that's not really a problem. It just takes a bit longer to take everything, and that's it. Secure our eastern front is done, and perfectly timed. I have like 100 political power. Very good. That allows me to integrate Danish Finland, and yes, it's 100 political power. I was right. And in 90 days, not 80, I was wrong there, we annex all of Finland. Why not? And while this is going on, I'm gonna reclaim Norway because, I mean, we're about to be done with this war, so why not just go in the next one? This was very well timed. I unpaused the game and the war is done. Anyways, give me your navy, give me your land. Goodbye. We have already grown by a little bit. The end of the crisis years, all the negative modifiers are gone, and we get a lot of our industry back. Very good. Because yes, so far our industry was crippled, and we did all of that. Fun. And we still have a few things that we need to fix, but conquering all of this over here is actually a big priority. Otherwise, you know. Reclaim Norway is done, and I'm gonna immediately declare war because some other nations like to guarantee nations. And while this is going on, I will go down Swedish steel production and repair the mines, because the Swedish destroy their mines, and their mines are pretty good. So I have to live with no industry for a few weeks, and I will get a lot of good mines from that, which you will actually need to survive. Yeah, it's that dramatic. Anyways, let's attack. And of course, no one is in Oslo. Why am I not surprised? Yeah, that war is actually quite fast, gotta say. Capitulating Norway, not so hard. At the same time, I noticed we integrated Finland. I didn't even see that. Yeah, give me your navy, give me your land. Goodbye. And look at that. We're now the Kingdom of Denmark, but that's boring. So let's become the Kingdom of Scandinavia and coring all of Scandinavia. Well, that's still boring. So let's proclaim Nordic unity and become the Nordic League and core all of Finland too. And yes, we're not done, because we could also establish the Dominum Maris Baltici, which gives us cores on all of the Baltic states. We just need to integrate them. Why not? And that's Denmark 1938. I told you, they're pretty strong. And we're also getting a casual 850k manpower. Sure, why not? I don't know, but this just looks very satisfying. I gotta be honest. I like it. And with Swedish steel now done, let's finally get our last research slot. Why didn't I get it earlier? Because we need 24 civilian factories for it, and so far we didn't have that. Now with all of the Nordic nations cored, we have enough civilian industry for that. At the same time, I never reformed my army. I actually forgot about that. So our army is still quite basic. This is so stupid. That happens when you think about the macro and just forget the micro, like unironically. And you know what? Because we haven't done it in a while, let's build some space marines. Align the industries to the nation's interest. Done. Now, let's take the research slot. The Germans decided to attack Lithuania. I gotta be honest, I forgot about Memel being a thing. And when Lithuania is your puppet, they think you protect them. I mean, which I do have to do now. And say no. So, January of 1939, before they even took Czechoslovakia, we had war with the Germans. Let's do a few preparations in the background. Because, I didn't plan on attacking the Germans so early on. But, I guess plans change. I guess we have to hold out like this for a little bit now. But, I mean, we have the industrial capabilities to defeat the Germans. We just have to actually build a military now. But I guess this gives me the army experience I need now. So, yeah, a W, right? Right. And I think I didn't mention last video, and I actually like a lot, is that the trade now is visible on land and sea. So I actually see where I get my resources from and why the trade works. It's a little thing, but it's a little thing I do appreciate having now. Economic mobilization strategy. A very good modifier. And I just noticed when I actually attack with CAS, I shoot down a lot of planes. So over the time, the should lose the entire capabilities of casting me. I hope I don't collapse before that happens though. And now, because we finally fight the time, let's core Iceland. I don't know why, but Poland joined my faction. I didn't really invite them to my faction. But I guess I'm just afraid of that one. And the Italians are actually doing a naval landing. I'm kind of happy I built up a coast guard because I will need it now. I already know this is gonna be a fun war. Yeah, to avoid that, I would just say don't puppet Lithuania before they take Memel. That's just just the only thing I would change about my strat. But overall, this is pretty strong. I'm gonna stick with that. Italian naval landing denied. And because I'm not the biggest fan of a two-front war and they only ask me for 2 civilian factories, I'll just give it to them. We can take it back later. I just find it so funny that Poland joined my faction. So Germany is not actually involved the allies for some reason. Apparently they never guaranteed Poland. I have no idea. I'm playing historical, okay? And Poland has capitulated. That's really important to me because it means that the Soviet Union will not fabricate a war goal on Poland anymore. And I don't have to deal with the Soviet Union right now, which would be really annoying. And because I finally need to take care of that, I will fix Danish industrial capabilities. The Italians love naval invasions. And because all of this was so chaotic, I couldn't even talk about what I planned on, because I want to sell resource rights to the Germans for a guarantee. Basically, when you repair the mines, you can sell this mine over here to one of the big nations, and in return, if they say yes, you get a guarantee. This way the Germans couldn't have attacked me like they did now, because it mostly goes hand in hand with a non-aggression pact. Like, you can easily get it then. Now that I can't do that anymore, I'll just keep the resources for myself, because I really don't need a guarantee from the Allies or the Soviets anymore. I'm already in a big war. It can't get worse. Knock on wood. I'm just looking into the losses of the Germans, and they've lost 555 bombers and 418 air support just to my anti-air gun. You see, it's just AA. They're not giving up. The British want to send me volunteers. Sure, why not? I don't care. Even air wings, why not? And look at those green numbers now. Actually beautiful. Tyranny of Greece has accepted your offer to join your faction. Why is everyone joining my faction? What? I didn't even agree to that. Oh, I think it's because the Axis are not involved the Allies in late 1940, by the way. Yeah, this turned very ahistorical real quick. The good news is that the Italians are fighting in Greece, so they're not winning. Yeah. Back to Denmark. I literally created a universe where Denmark just said no to the German demands and rallied the entire Nordic nations behind them. I guess that's pretty cool. So I upgrade my units to Space Marines now. I don't have enough tanks yet. I'm missing like half of it, but I have so much factories now in tanks that it should be achieved quite soon. Oh yeah, sure, Yugoslavia. Join my faction. Feel free. Wow. Everyone just joining my faction, man. I have no saying in this. They just joined. With our industry now very much built up and fixed, let's finally reform our military. Because we don't really have any negative modifiers, but there's a lot of positive modifiers we can gain from this. So let's do that. The only real negative modifiers we have is planning and surrender limit. That has nothing really to do with our fighting capabilities. This is why I kind of neglected this up to now. By the way, we built supply hubs 25% faster. What? Didn't even notice that. That's so good. They take so long to build. That's so fast. Oh my god. Finally, the Allies joined the war. Finally. This is only because of Ethiopia. You know what? I don't even want to know the details. Just do something now. Okay, the Germans just declared war on the Soviet Union and the Allies at the same time. So they're a little bit surrounded now. I feel like that's my opportunity to kind of push them at all sides. And I'm gonna do that. I'm even gonna call in Latvia to open up a second front. I feel like it should actually do a lot of good. The reconquest of Denmark has begun. Let's go! I gotta be honest, I built up such a big army in the background. This will be crazy. It's so big, I don't have a general. I'm literally right now doing a focus only to gain generals. That's the only reason I'm doing this focus. Oh my god. So many Germans encircled. Come on. Let's go. Okay, the Lithuanian front seems very promising. So I'm gonna dedicate a lot more troops to it. Entire Coast Guard goes over here now. Half of Poland, or I mean half of Poland, it's not inside of the Soviet Union right now, has been freed, and we are marching towards Berlin. Let's go. And I'm pretty sure that the Germans have still a lot of fighters, but no CAS left, because, yeah, I think I deleted all of the CAS over the time. Especially with the Space Marines now. But who cares? Let's push. The city is completely in Polish hands. Polish Berlin based. Oh my god, my front lines are connected. Let's go. This is so good. Germany is like completely falling apart now. I love this. There you go. Yep, that's not looking good for Germany. Can I ask Poland for the land, by the way? They're completely fine giving me most of the German land. You know what? I'm not complaining. My industry now. And while we're marching into Vienna, let me just say thanks again for all of the support. We are getting really close to 20k. Yeah, I'm probably gonna do an Iceland video then. I mean, I next in this video, but you know. Iceland World Conquest. Guys, you're very funny, right? You're very funny. Hello. Editing Florius here from Saturday. I'm doing the final touches on the video right now. And I just noticed we will hit the sub goal way too fast. So we'll not be able to make the video immediately. There's a few more videos coming before that, but I will try to make it as soon as I can. Thank you for the amazing support. Now back to the video. Kiss, kiss. Okay, Germany capitulated to me. That will make a lot of things easier. I'm gonna clean up the entire front line here. Oh my god. Yeah, I think the Axis officially are falling apart. Yeah. And the war is ended. I feel like that's a pretty fair peace treaty. I deserve this. 100%. And Hungary still exists. Hungary and Iran are still fighting the Soviet Union. You know what? That's not my problem. I never joined this war. You know what I have now? A huge navy. So let's put that to use. People feel safe. Yeah, I would also feel very safe if the one nation that wanted to attack me is gone. So the Soviet Union started to fabricate on my puppet, but I have an easy solution. Integrate. Hey, no more justification. Let's go. Okay, now they're doing it on Estonia. I'm not even close to integrating them. Guess I have to fight them. Here we go. Fun. But so far, they haven't pushed a single tile. So, yeah, that wasn't very intelligent to do. Not really. And now that my supply hub is built, let's get some revenge. Soviet Union, that's what pushing looks like. Just that you know, right? The amount of Soviet troops here is just ridiculous. Look at that. Small encirclement. You know what, Poland? You can join. Conquer back your land. I believe in you. So let's build some fighter jets. I'm in a compliance government and I got 45%. That's pretty good. If I can get that again, the Soviet Union should collapse very soon. And I did just encircle the entire Balkan. So let me just clean that up real quick. I really don't know why, but for some reason, Turkey just declared war on Romania. Oh, this is gonna be so good. Oh, finally. It has been such a pain. For some reason, that supply. I'm fighting this for 10 minutes now in this mountain. Finally, they're gone. Now, let's clean up the rest. The Soviet Union lost 7 million men to me. Oh, I mean, I lost 2 million men. That wasn't fun. Turkey wanna join. Why not? Welcome, Turkey. You're part of the Nordic League now. That makes sense. And another 30%. I think that should be enough to get them quite fast capitulated. We're starting to run out of manpower, but good news. I integrate all of the Baltic nations, which means I can establish Dominium Maris Baltiki. A beautiful whitish gray color, maybe snow. I'm not 100% sure. Anyways, new manpower definitely needed. Air Force being done now. So let's get that into the battlefield because I do want to clean all of this up now. This is kind of horrendous. With the help of an Air Force, this should actually work quite well. Oh, I have 1.2 million manpower now. Let's go. Oh my god, it's over. Let's go. So I democratically decided I get everything. But you know what? They sacrificed a lot for me, so I'm gonna give back the Polish their land. Look at this. 1936 Poland, back again. Overall, I would say I did a good job with Denmark. And yeah, we played Denmark today. Don't forget that part. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments. And as always, my supporters, I love you. Until next time, bye.